going to get this. You can feel it. He's done it. Paddy Hood is your Geelong Open 2026 champion. Well deserved, well played, quality match. Pleasure to call. And it would not surprise me if he shed a tear.
We are here today just after the Geelong Open. I'm going to say congratulations, but we'll go into some analysis to see how the emotions rode up and down for you. But congratulations on being runner-up
Thank you.
On the weekend at the Geelong Open. And congratulations, of course, to Patrick Hood, who came away with his first major title. Has been knocking on the door. So well done, Paddy. We really enjoyed your journey through it. We're going to cover some of those matches today and talk about what happened. But congratulations on the win. That's was very big.
Stick to running them because you've ruined my night.
It was a pretty strong field, Mick. Like, Robert, you were there as well.
Not for very long.
Not for as long as Mick, certainly. But yeah, like it was a pretty deep field this year. They've done a good job at getting some players to rally around. Let me just read out the paths to the final for both Paddy and for you, Mick. So Paddy's played Aki Ulam, Kevin Van Egelen, Steve Tran in the third round, Tim Liddell, then he's beaten Tem Dixon and Justin Sayich. Like there's some world-class opposition in that road.
You've always got to beat at least two very, very strong players to win any of these things, like minimum.
Yeah, that's right. And for you, Mick, Jamie Keane, then Gusta Georgia in the second round. That's a big match for a very early
that was
one.
Brutal.
Yeah, Paul Pike, Mark Owens, Eki Lakthong, Jake McCartney, and then, of course, you and Paddy Hood played each other in the final. So tough roads to the final.
Yeah, very tough.
I presume there are stories like that all over the tournament. There were some big names there this week.
Yeah, when they were calling at the last, when they're calling at the last 64, just the second round, there was maybe 10 really good matches that easily could have been on the stream table, and yeah, a lot of hard matches early.
Yeah, and Mark, did you go up Sunday morning as well? Were you there just for the Sunday?
Yeah, just the Sunday for me. When a tournament's in Melbourne, I want to take as much advantage of just it being a one-day event as possible. I was just writing up my calendar, and like every month, there's a big tournament on for like the rest of the year that goes for, if you're going to commit to it, you got to get there a day early and probably come back a day later. You're there for 4 days. So when there's a tournament like Geelong, I live a bit over an hour away. I just want to drive up Sunday morning. I'll see how it goes. It's one of my favorite tournaments of the year, actually. Go up Sunday morning. I see how I go. If I go no good, like I lost in the second round, I was home by early afternoon. No harm done. That's the way I like to be. If I'm going to invest a lot of time, then I go to King's Cup and kill a crossover. All those sorts of ones where you're going away for days.
And I thought quite a good initiative actually by the organisers there to put out an offer. I'm not sure if there was a restriction on who it was available to. Perhaps you guys will know, but to be able to pay a bit more to just play on the Sunday, you're essentially buying your way through the qualifying.
Yeah, they've made it so if you've won it or come runner up, you get that choice. So you've only got to do it once, obviously, and then you get that choice as time goes on. So, and
there must have
helps,
been about 10 players or so that would have had that option.
Yeah. And it helps because sometimes you can't make both the days. I might not have been able to play, this tournament if that was the case as well. So, it's kept me there, I guess. And I thank Vo and the others for doing that. And, so.
Yeah, Vo and the crew there, they're always trying to innovate, like the online Calcutta, for example, these sorts of things. So yeah, it's a very good tournament that seems to be well liked by all the players, and appreciate their efforts as well, of course.
Cuball TV, Dan does a great job, with all his organisation and stuff, doing all that as well. So he's been, with us for a very long time, and he's a big part of it all, so.
Yes.
I think bring back the best of 9 in the quarterfinals. That was best of 9 last year. I think best of 9, best of 9, best of 11 works well. When I saw it was best of 7, I'm looking at these matchups and I'm like, man, these are some pretty brutal matchups for race to 4. Like, because when you look at a match like Paddy and Tem, Sage and Jamie, was it Mick and Eki and the other one, whoever that was, Jake and Dempsey? You got to think like race to 4, there's a good chance they're going to run like 4 racks. Like you want to extend the race just that little bit longer to allow a bit more play. Like you don't want to make it quarterfinals and your opponent runs 3 racks on you, and so you've only got 1 frame up your sleeve. So I think bring it back to best of 9. Other than that, I think it's spot on. Can't really fault anything else.
And it's always nice starting these tournaments and not running into a seed or something like that. We're always hoping not to have a hard match straight up. And, like myself, I copped Gus pretty early and then sort of ran into Mark Owens as well. And these are 2 players that I prefer to run into like the last 16 of the quarters or something like that. But to get them fairly early, Gus, I mean, I just had tap-ins when he broke and I broke. They were just, anyone was going to get them. So Gus really didn't have a say in that. And that was it. And then with Mark Owens, like running into him soon after that, I was like, ugh, because he can go on and win the tournament as well. So you're trying to, in your head, you're trying to get, you're trying to basically avoid these players, but sometimes you rock up and you're playing good plays right from the start. And it's just luck of the draw, I guess. And especially pulling the balls out. I always, whenever I touch a ball, I've got to grab that one, because if I don't and grab something else and then I draw like someone that's really hard or something, like I'll kick myself. So I'm always, whenever I put my hand in, the moment my hand touches a ball, I grab it and then I just go with it. So it's something stupid in my head, but it's what happens.
Yeah. Everyone's got their little idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if we try and tell the story about your Geelong tournament, Mick. I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but you left us a message during the week about a practice match that you had. So I kind of wanted to start there just to see like where your headspace was a week before the event, and you've had a practice match, and did that change anything for you as you kind of led into the event?
A week before the event, I was in New South Wales, Bermagui, me and my brother fighting a marlin. So that's where I was. And then I was able to get back on the Wednesday and had a couple of days to be able to put in a bit of practice for Geelong. So when I got back, I said to myself, I just want to do a 15-minute practice on Thursday, 15-minute practice on Friday, and then I'll do a 15-minute practice on Saturday. And then 15 minutes might sound like not enough, but I've done the work like a lot of the other top players before, and I just need my 15 or 20 minutes of just 100% solid, proper drills. 15 minutes, 20 minutes is enough. And then I can relax and go do whatever I need to do. I don't need to spend 4 or 5 hours on a table. Yes, it would help in a way, but in other ways, I would just start slapping balls around. So I did my 15 minutes. I had someone come over from Queensland, Chris Sutton. Yeah, he's obviously been playing the game a very, very long time. Come over, gave me a race to 11. And 4 hours later, we're battling out in a race to 11. It was 4-all, 5-all, then I was like 10-8 down. And I said to myself, this is actually exactly what I need before Geelong. It was obviously a very hard match. It was brutal. It was a grind for 4 hours, and I managed to get up in the end, 11-10, and it's exactly what I needed before the tournament. Like I didn't want to either win 11-5 or him or win 11-5, run a lot of racks, and I would have got nothing out of it. That grind 4-hour match that I did on the Saturday, I think that really helped me to achieve what I achieved on the Sunday at Geelong. So thanks, Chris, for coming over. That was good. And rocking up on the Sunday, I rocked up Sunday morning, walked in the venue, and literally just walked right to the back of the venue and jumped on the nearest table and started having a bit of a hit. And that's, again, I just wanted, my 15 or 20 minutes. I played with somebody and they were actually started talking negative about the table. And obviously I'm not going to mention any names. They'll know who they are. But I basically said to them, you've got to get that stuff out of your head. You've got to be positive. I'm here. I'm positive. All these tables run beautifully no matter what I'm on. And, I broke and ran a rack on that table straight away. And I said, you know what, that's it. There's nothing wrong with the table. It's all in our heads. So if the table runs a bit funny or whatever, just adapt to it, because the first person that adapts to it, or the first player that adapts to the table, will win the match. So, that's what you have to do. And I've got nothing but positive vibes. And I went there to try and get that trophy that I've wanted for a very long time. Driving up there, I was driving up there for a purpose. At home, I've got the last year's runner-up trophy sitting right at the end of my bed up on the wall, but it's facing the other way because I don't want to see a runner-up. And I looked at that every day for 12 months, and then today or yesterday was my chance to obviously get the number one place, not runner up. And, I'm visualizing. My wife is helping me, with messages and, you can do this. And, the mentality or the mental side of anything in any sport is massive. And if you can't do that or haven't got that, you won't succeed at all. You might get lucky one day and get a result or something. But if you don't have the mentality to see something and believe that you can actually go out there and get it, then you're already behind the 8 ball. And I told people that I'm going there to win this thing and bring that trophy back. And I'm driving home yesterday and I looked over and I see the trophy, but I just know it says number 2 on it again. And but I'm like, you know what? It was. I don't play at all anymore. I do a bit of my 10 or 15 minutes for the YouTube channel, but I don't play anymore. I don't have that match play like everybody else. But what I did have was my knowledge of the game, and I think that could get me through. And I knew what I needed to do. I knew where my abilities were and what I could do and can't do on the table with a little bit of practice I did at home. So I knew that I could do or play certain shots. I knew that I'm going to be undone a little bit, but all I said to myself was, if I can make the right decisions at the right times, whether they're bad shots or good shots, if I can just make these decisions and make them in my favor at the right times, I might be able to do all right. My very first match, I could have lost at 3-0. I was overrunning balls by 2 feet, 3 feet, and I could have lost that match 3-0. So I could have been out of the tournament very quickly. I needed 30 seconds on the table, and silly me, I didn't take it. I just racked the balls. We started, and I'd been practicing, obviously, on another table, practicing at home. And that table doesn't run anywhere near like the main 4 do. The main 4 were like lightning. They were 3 times faster than a lot of the other tables. So if you're not used to it, then you can get in trouble very quickly. And I was in trouble. I fought back and managed to get through, and then slowly progressed through the tournament. But all I did was try to make the right decisions at the right times and not push the boat out too far, try and tie some frames up when I needed to. I made a lot of mistakes. People also made a lot of mistakes against me, but I was able to capitalize here or there. I didn't play great pool all day and night. I played some bad, some good. It came in went. And I just went along with it. So there was probably 3 big doubles that I did throughout the whole tournament. That
I've got them all. I've got them all
Really?
lined up. Do you want to? Yeah. Should we have a look at? I'm going to cover. I'm not going to cover your first. So your first 4 rounds: Jamie Keane, Gus DeGiorgio, Paul Pike, Mark Owens. We'll leave them. So if we pick up the story of the last 8, the quarterfinals, and you're playing Eki
there was
Luckthorn.
3 key doubles I sort of made to keep myself in a frame. And but one main thing I did yesterday was I said to myself, if I'm going to pull the trigger on something or play the right shot down a rail or whatever, even though if I miss, it's game over, I'm going to do it. So, yeah, he left me here. I literally had no shot other than play a cross double into the corner pocket. And obviously I practice this kind of stuff, but obviously with the white ball off to the right-hand side a bit more. but I knew sort of how to play the shot.
So for a bit of context, this is the match against Eki Lakthong in the last 8, even though these scores at the bottom for 2 other matches. Those other matches have just finished, so they've swung the camera around to see the end of Mick's match here. I believe that you are 2-1 down at this point. So
yeah, this was massive. This was to not go.
This is frame 4. Yeah. So let's see what happens from here.
I was happy where the black was, so I thought I could have a dip, and if I miss it, he still has to land on the black. But I thought if I can get this, I'm a chance to knock the black in and put some pressure back on him. And this black was actually just as hard, to tell the truth.
Yeah. It's a tricky black.
I just had to get on with it. Didn't want to stall, just wanted to get down, get it or miss it. I was jumping inside. I was so happy, but I had to keep my cool like it was nothing. And like, okay, Eki, now, you saw what I just did. Don't stuff up again. And that's what I wanted to show. I didn't want to be like, yes, I got it. Wow, I'm so happy and over the moon. I wanted to basically just show him that that just was easy in a way. And that way I can create a bit of more pressure on my opponent. And, if it makes him make one more mistake in the next frame, then I get one more chance, So sometimes you just got to do that, even though it's hard. Just try and make it look easy, and just pretend it's like it's nothing. But yeah, I was jumping inside.
So that was to get to 2-2. If Eki wins that frame, he's on the hill at 3-1, right? That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to cover the rest of that match unless you want to, but I can tell you in the next frame. In the next frame, you clear in your first visit to the table. I think he breaks, pots a ball, and you get to the table and just clear the table in a single visit. And in the last frame, you break and pot out, master break.
Yeah.
So the momentum was really building, I think, for you at that point.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to run with it, and that's something that you need to notice.
And then we get to the semifinals. And this is the first frame in the semifinal against Jake McCartney. So I'm
feeling sick and nervous again just thinking about this.
I love it when that happens. It's great. All right, here we go. Let's take a look. This is Mick and Jack on the left here.
Yeah, so I play a bad shot here. I misjudged it and ran into his red and literally just snookered myself. I needed to play it a bit different, more side, come around. So I was in trouble here. I had one yellow to hit, and I thought, you know what? If I can actually just play the double on the yellow, top it through, I'm a chance to play a shot to nothing.
That was a great pot. Put you in a great position there to clear.
Yeah, and then from there I went 3-0 up. So.
That's right. Now, there's a couple of moments that I just want to call out in the next couple of frames. I've got to jump forward a bit there. Here we go. So this got live replayed. I don't know if you I guess you must have asked Dan for the replay on this shot that you play.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure. When I come off the cushion, I went to the left more than I thought, and then caught me off guard a little bit. And then I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? I actually don't know if that was a foul or not.
So I'll just explain what's going on. This is Mick at the table, and he's about to come off the right-hand cushion to attempt to hit the yellow near the top cushion. And I'll just play it and we can see what happens.
I wasn't sure, so I went to the replay. I went and asked them if they can actually, make the decision, because I wasn't sure. And Jake's like, yeah, just leave it to them and they'll sort it. I'm like, yeah, sweet. So whatever they say, I'll just go with.
They certainly say on commentary that they saw it on different angles, but they only show one.
Yeah.
On the stream.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see them zoom in.
That's why we went to the
anyway,
back one.
I just saw the back one where you're far away and they sort of slow it down a little bit.
No,
So
they said
must
they've
have
got
shown
two
another-
other angles that they're looking at, which we
They
can't
do have two
see.
other ones, yes.
Yeah, they showed us the dodgy one. So that's why I'm saying to you, from that angle, you don't know. But if they've got other views, then well, that's why we went to them. I prefer it to go to them, and then one of us make a crappy call. You know, so I'm glad it went to them, and I'm glad they made a decision.
Now, in frame 3, I've just got a question for you, Mick, about what happens here.
So I mapped this. Oh,
Now, your hand.
my hand's cramping, and my thumb started moving left and locking. So I had to rip my thumb around and stretch my whole hand and actually start massaging here. Because every time I went to put a bridge out, all this would tighten up and my thumb would then lock over to the side. And then I'd start cramping up like this and I can't move my hand. And I had to rip everything open. So it happened a lot within minutes and I couldn't actually play any shots to the point where I started massaging my hand and then was able to play 1 or 2 shots before it cramped up again. And I'm like, oh God, I think I actually now either A, forfeit the match because I can't actually queue, but I would never do that. I would actually play with the rest and try and get over the line before that happens.
Yeah.
And 2, I didn't know what to do. And then Kev actually came around to me about 5 minutes later and said, sit on your hand. And I sat on my hand while Jake was playing. And then I got up to go play a few shots and it was good for maybe 5 shots or 10 shots or something like that. It was good for maybe a few minutes, which got me, which was enough for me to play a few shots and then go back and actually sit down and sit back on my hand again. So my hand was actually starting to cramp up and it did it in the semis and did it in the final as well. So I just had to not bridge too much, had to bridge quite lightly. Otherwise my whole hand would just sort of go nuts.
Yeah, it looks like you almost asked for timeout for an injury. Like I think you play it, you massage it, take your time, you come back, you play another shot, and then you do it again.
I said to Jake, I'm sorry, like I didn't know what to do. I'm glad they weren't timing because I would have been in trouble. But I would have had to call a timeout and I just needed a few minutes to maybe massage my hand or something. So I never really had that happen before. But my hand was cramping. Maybe I sat in that corner for the whole day because I was playing and I didn't want to go outside or anything like that because I didn't want to get my eyes adjusted to outside then come inside. And I was actually very fatigued as well. So I needed to stay inside and I got Maddie to get me some cupcakes while I was playing. And thanks to the other guys as well that bought me drinks and soft drinks and I got some chocolates and stuff that kept me going through the semis and finals as well. So thanks boys, you know who you are. And it really did help. It all helped. So hand cramping.
Yeah, that was a fascinating moment. Like I have no idea what the ruling is. Like presumably it's plausible that someone could injure themselves mid-frame somehow.
I actually couldn't bridge. I had nothing to bridge on. So my hand would literally just fold up like it was really weird. My hand would just fold up and I had nothing.
Yes.
So.
I think for me, this was a bit of a key moment in the match, Mick, for you against Jake. I'll just let this play for a moment. So Jake's on reds and he's trying to go game here. Plays a very neat shot here.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Yeah.
And he just didn't roll forward enough.
Yeah, a lot of room to land in, right? He wants to be through a little bit, not a lot, but yeah.
He needed another couple of ball rolls.
Yeah, where he's pointing, basically, yeah.
It just means that he can play the red at a softer pace and not have to smash this in, but he landed pretty straight.
Yeah. I was watching this live and I thought he was going to deep screw back off the top cushion, actually. But he must not have had the angle. He's slightly off angle the wrong way, right? Yeah. And he had made a really good clearance to get to that point.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was pretty basic. I just popped the first one, get an angle to knock the second one out. And, it's pretty standard. I actually come back too far on that first shot because I wanted to leave
Yes.
both these balls. Just why not? But the
Yeah.
table just playing so quick, so nice. Even then, I actually came back too far again. But all I wanted was a little bit of angle, and then I played obviously like more of a forced shot. And this is something that a lot of people actually do get wrong, and it's very good to practice it as well. So if you control that kind of shot by playing top it, controlling how you hit the yellow by the pace rather than anything else. So this one again, table caught me out. I hit it a bit wrong, and I'm like, you know what, just knock the top one in. But I'm like, you know what, if I miss it, it's game over. Where if I play the other yellow, if I miss it, there's a good chance that he still actually has to do something with the 8-ball. So I thought this was the right shot. It was actually still quite hard, but
Played it very well.
yeah, I was happy with it.
And is your hand still cramping at this stage? Like it's only been a
Yes.
couple of frames.
Yeah.
Right,
It was on and off. It was on and off. I was trying to hide it
Yeah, okay.
because I didn't want to look like a sour puss or whatever. I'm trying to hide the fact that my hand keeps cramping. And I was massaging it in between frames when I was off the shot and also sitting on my hand as well to try and relieve some pressure. So I was doing what I can with every 30 seconds or a minute or so I had off the table. I was just constantly doing this and then massaging my hand just to give myself, a couple of shots while I'm out there to help me. So absolutely brutal.
All right, I'm gonna go back and cover a little bit of Paddy Hood's journey first, and then we'll come back to the final. This is Paddy against Tem Dixon on the left-hand side in the last 8, and I had a feeling this might have been a turning point. So Paddy's on the reds here, and actually I must say it was a bit of a feature for the whole event. Whenever I saw Paddy, his putting was really good this event.
Yeah.
He took on some big pots and nailed a heap of them.
Yeah, he got a good black against me. I left him a long pot.
Yeah.
And held it.
Yeah.
That was huge. Yeah, I thought he was playing well.
Yeah, so that one was a surprise to see him miss. And I thought, that might be a turning point. Tem puts the thumb screws on here and wins this frame to take it to 3-all, and there's a decider. So this was actually, I think that's Tem on the reds. There's actually a few mistakes in the end in this frame. He actually takes the plant on here. Now, this was an interesting moment. I wondered what your thought was here, because Paddy's hampered. He's queuing over the red, but it does look like that yellow will play off the red into the center. So he has that as an option.
Well, looking at this now, you're already in trouble if you're yellows. All the reds are basically on. So you have to make something happen here. If you're bridging over the ball, I'm probably smashing that yellow off the red, trying to make something happen. Just get some movement on the red. Hopefully you drop the yellow. You might disrupt some of his balls and then go from there, I guess. I don't know if those other 2 yellows like play a double in the corner pocket or something, but just do something to make it a little bit harder than what it is.
Yeah, I'll show you what Paddy does. So he's actually played it off the other side.
Mean it.
I don't know. Like, do you think it was because he played it very softly?
Maybe he meant it. I give him the benefit of the doubt there. Like, only he'll know.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hit it a bit thicker to push that red.
Yeah,
kind
possibly
of on the rail next to the
the
black.
Yeah, just make it harder, and he succeeded. Whatever you do, just make it harder.
Yeah. And there's Tem chooses an interesting path, I think, here.
He's going to try and break it up? No. So he's looking for angle to try and open it up. I think he might have too much angle. Yeah. Actually quite a good shot. Oh, so unlucky. Wow. That's actually unlucky. But you saw what Paddy did before. He made Tem do exactly that but also look where the red is on the rail. Like, there's a good chance you're going to get back because of what Paddy did before.
Yeah, that's right.
Other than just be tap-ins. Oh, you can actually see this.
Now, this was the interesting moment for me. I guess it's difficult to leave him off both of those, both the left yellow and the centre yellow, right?
It depends if the 2 yellows plant into the centre pocket, but what you could do here is you could play that red that's near the bottom off 2 rails and get it at the top end near the bulk line. That way, when Paddy plays his yellow, he's got nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
So it puts him under the pump, and you've got reds at one end of the table, and you've also got reds at the other end of the table as well. That way, you're basically saying to Paddy, now this is your last shot you're going to get.
I guess the question for me is the leftmost yellow. Is that yellow onto the bottom left corner pocket? I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is either.
So Tem's choice of shot here, I think, is good, but I'm not sure about the execution of it. So
While you're
let's see
saying
what
that,
he
I'm
does
tipping
here.
he plays this bottom one and then runs a wide at the top end of the table, which is possibly not really a great shot, because if that happens, he's on nothing. So I think he shouldn't have pulled the trigger there. I think he needed to wait one more time. And the thing is, those tables actually played quite loose down the rails. If you get on them down rails and you knock him in down the rails, even if they're off the rail by like 2 mil, they're going to go in. So he could have easily landed on that, and I think he knocks it in 9 out of 10. So I think he should have just waited.
Well, I wonder if he should have just played that to miss, like to just leave it near the pocket and bring the wide.
Very hard to do that. Yeah, it's very hard to do that. We're all tuned to actually knock balls in, and when we want to try and miss, it's brutally hard. So even if he got the kiss on the yellow and landed on that red, he still actually had to try and get back to the other red as well. Yeah.
Do you think he was trying to potter and kiss the yellow?
Possibly, or maybe try and hit the other yellow.
Because if you go back a bit, he does go up here and he looks at the position. He says, what will Paddy have if I leave the white up there? So I think he's trying to leave the white up there as a safety. And he's although he does get very close to that yellow, doesn't he? Jeez.
Yeah, if anything, he should have played it with maybe more right-hand side and come up between the black and the yellow, because then he can play the red down the rail and just hold it for the other red in the corner. But he's still got a dodgy black. I think I wouldn't have pulled the trigger there. I would have put the pressure back on Paddy and put my red in a better position. And this is something that obviously, if you're not playing well, making the right choices here. Not saying that I'm right or wrong here, but making the correct decisions here can actually get you through these frames of matches. So he's done exactly.
I don't mind this shot from Tim.
He's done that.
And he gets a great result too.
Lucky. But so if he did that in the first shot as well and got the other red up there, then he would have exactly this.
Yeah,
so
the match turns a little bit messy at this point. Let me see if I can jump it forward a bit.
But see, reds here aren't favourite now. I think yellows are.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's the shot I would have
Paddy
played.
actually plays some. Paddy plays some good safety here.
Yeah. So the moment Tem knocked in that red, he lost control of being favourite. I think he needed, with the way that the 2 yellows were, and then Tem had all his reds there. I think if Tem played the safety and moved the red around the table, even with his dead red on the side cushion, I think he was still favourite. But now he knocked it in. The yellows are a favourite all day.
And I think this is a mistake, clearly. But yeah, that white's dribbled through.
Yeah, that was maybe a bit rushed, I think. Just tad careless maybe by Tem.
I think he needed the white to be on the left-hand side of the red rather than the right-hand side of the red.
Well, he just sort of probably tried to stick on the red. But it's hard because you want to try and make sure the yellow reaches the rail as well.
I like the shot.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just see Paddy's just chipped away and improved his position. until
And now look at these
he's ready in
yellows.
this
They're
frame.
very inviting now. So Tem is in all sorts. Needs to try and get a bit lucky here and get the white high and put Paddy under a bit of long ball potting pressure, which Paddy's been very, very good with. I'd take that. I'd take that if I was Tem. So he's got a good ball on the rail there. But Paddy's been knocking in a good ball all day. Every time I looked at him, he just never looked like missing. It's just his day. And as Paddy said, he plays on these tables all the time. So this is his home venue. You know, I can't play that shot. I cue across the ball now when I play that shot. So I had one against Jake, a lot easier than that, and I knew I was going to miss it.
Just get through to the shot.
Yeah, definitely held his nerve well, Paddy, through all these matches. He looked really good out there. Really good.
Mhm.
He looked like a proper pool player. He looked like Tem does. He just looks like he's going to win all the time. Never going to miss.
And as you
Free
say
hole.
that,
Wow. Got a good
so he
white.
misses that black. That was for the win. He did get a good white. And it looks like that centre red cuts. Yeah, Tem just
Oh.
takes it on, and that's all she wrote.
Bit stiff to get the little kiss there, but I still back Paddy to probably knock the long one in.
Yeah, I mean, I think, he was lucky that if it went behind, the double kiss, do you mean? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, that was Paddy's quarterfinal. I'm going to leave the sound on for this one because it's about the sound. So this is Paddy on the right hand side on the red.
To in between the yellow.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
He's going to hate that.
Yeah. He's
Paddy.
actually touched it perfectly too, almost perfectly.
Paddy's going off here. About to go 2-1 up.
Yeah, a lot of support.
Yeah, so like that was just, it was significantly louder watching Paddy, who'd win a frame on stream, than anyone else for the whole tournament. Like
Do you know? Do you know when I hear that sound when I'm playing? I hear that sound when I'm playing when I miss a ball.
Miss a
That's
ball,
what the
yeah.
crowd does.
All right, so there's another key moment that Justin actually misses his last yellow at the end
I've
of
got
the match.
that one as well. Hang on, frame
And
8.
the crowd went nuts and scared me. I actually had to get up off the shot, and I walked over to Jake and said, "Sorry, I just got scared by the audience. They just literally they erupted." And I shook a little bit as I was about to play the shot, and I had to get up, man. But they were loud.
Yeah, so this
They were loud for him.
this is actually. I wonder if we'll see you at the same time. This is Justin on the right hand side. Is this for the win?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah, this
for
was
the
it.
win. Justin's on yellows. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
Rewind it a shot.
yeah. He plays a good shot down the rail.
No, this is bad. So rewind it.
Keep going back.
All right, so he's got ball in hand here. Jamie Stevens was right in the commentary. The ball you take is the bottom one first. You put the white on the rail and you're just dropping it in dead weight. And then you're floating to the one on the right-hand rail. You're playing that one. And then you're just working your way up the table. It was actually really easy. I don't know why he didn't see it. Basically, if he puts the white on the bottom rail, it's pretty much just game over. They all just link straight away so easy. Jamie was very...
Can you do that?
Although
Was this not after the break?
Not the problem. Pardon me?
This wasn't after the break, though. Could he have done what Mark and Jamie said? Put the ball down there?
Yeah.
He's got ball in hand
anyway.
right. He's got ball in hand right now.
100%. Yeah, 100%
Here's
right
Paddy's
there,
shot.
Mark.
I'll show you Paddy's shot. I'll leave the sound off for the moment.
In off the center, yeah.
So he's a bit unlucky to go in off.
Yeah, 100% right there. You're literally putting the ball on the rail, stunning it in, and then you can literally roll the hole out in.
So I'll see if I can point for people watching on. So somewhere near the nameplate down the bottom.
No.
And potting this yellow to the corner, which will roll you up for the next one down the cushion.
No, I was starting on the rail.
Multiple options to start working on.
Yeah.
You were starting on this rail, were you?
Yeah. Just
I mean, I think that's fine too.
Yeah.
because you can roll this in and be on the bottom one.
Yeah.
Like that.
And then you play that one,
yeah.
and then you naturally come up for all 3 yellows. So, look, there's a bunch of ways to do it. But if Justin's playing from the top, then he
But
has to get position, without ball
Yes.
in hand. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think this little triangle of balls is the problem, right? There's the 3 at the bottom right are the problem
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, he's supposed to start on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you go Mick's way, that's fine as well. You're
Yeah.
supposed to start on one of those 2 bottom right-hand yellows.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, let's play this out, and I'm going to turn the sound back on when we get to the last ball for you.
He still made it. He
play
still
this
made
out.
it like
He starts-
quite good. He just the last ball or two, he didn't get where he wanted to.
So he's just a little bit off there.
just a little bit off, yes, but he plays a good shot here, and now everything looks pretty good.
He's making this hard now. Right there.
He's making it hard, yes.
He's having to do a lot with the white ball. Going Robbo's way or my way, you can literally roll the hole out in with outside, basically.
Yeah, he just wanted to take care of that yellow at the start near the brown
Yeah.
spot. For some reason, it wasn't an issue.
And this was a shot with sound.
All right, I'm going to turn the sound back on for a moment. Yeah, so remember, this is for the match.
Get these. I think it's been a little bit more scenic route than it should have been. But, oh, wow. Wow.
You saw me. I got scared and walked off and held my heart.
Oh, that's you at the table on the left-hand side?
Yeah, watch as he missed it.
Is that you at the table, is it, Mick?
Yeah, watch as he missed it. I
Rewind
jumped up, walked away and held my heart because the crowd yelled that hard that I almost if I would have hit the white, I probably would have miscued.
All right, here we go.
Even though he's probably going to get these, I think it's been a little bit more scenic route than it should have been. But, oh, wow. Wow.
That's good.
Oh, this is a good shot you play here, Mick, actually.
Yeah, I had to go full-blooded here. I could have went in off, but I'm like, it's my only chance. I could have played the top yellow and come around, but I'm like, you know what? If I can actually play this and get it right in between the balls and miss the center pocket, then I instantly win. So Jake left me the gap, and I took it.
Jake tried to play a safety and leave you snookered, and he's left you this little gap between that.
He left me on both yellows, so I had options.
Shot for the folks at home. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, played a very good shot there. All right, and I'm going to jump forward now to the last frame. So it's now 4-all. Justin's nearly potted the white off the break.
I do feel for Justin as well, because every time he missed or something happened, he just the whole roof. He just felt like 1,000 men just coming down upon him.
So it's just some neat work required, but I'll get through this a bit. Remember, this is for the match again. You get to fast forward a lot when Justin's playing. And now he's got here we go.
The boat out a bit.
I think he actually gets up, does he? No, he's on the yellow to the corner.
Yeah, that's a
he's
good
on
shot.
both yellows, actually. Now, the angle here is deceiving.
Yeah, he didn't like it. Either you got to play into that harder and punch the red away, or roll through and play the yellow in a different pocket, maybe. Or you have to screw back off it or something. I don't know.
If that white is like a centimetre in any other spot, he can screw back for black bottom right or left middle quite easily.
Yeah,
I think it's
correct.
the perfect wrong spot.
Do you think maybe Marky could have tried and screwed back into the black and try and get a half ball either side of it?
I think with
Like
that, even again, like if that white rolls another centimetre, it's enough.
Yeah.
You know,
So I think he had the
you're
slight
just
angle
so
there. I think
scared
he
at
could have got
4
down.
all to snooker yourself there.
Yeah.
In this situation here, the double's just not on. In this situation here, you smash in the cut in the middle and hope the white obviously doesn't go in off, like hits the jaws or the pocket or clips the red. But you
Bounces
hit it with
around,
pace,
yeah.
so it's going to completely disrupt what you think might be a natural in off.
Yeah.
But he goes
Yeah, I
for a
think-
double. It's not the double's not even on.
I think the existence of that red next to the black just is kind of like almost.
Like the double's not on. You can see from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it
yeah, I
needs to
agree.
hit, Justin. You're correct. Yes, and look, there's a red in the way.
Unless he's drawing a triple, but even
There's
then.
And
still
I think
Justin.
he even lines up the triple, and the triple doesn't go.
Yeah.
It's just
What if you smash it into the red? Will it go into the center pocket? I don't know. Just got to.
No. It just wasn't on.
yeah.
Oh, I'm nervous again.
And I can I'll just play this out at faster pace. But yes, that was I don't think Justin gets another look
And
at the
Paddy's
black
playing.
anyway. I forget if
Paddy's playing Alex Pace soon too.
actually Alex Pace is playing Jack Green right now as we're recording. We might do a check-in on the scores there in a moment.
Do a quick 30-second livey.
Yeah, it was a good shot from Paddy.
Yeah, he landed actually a bit
this
straight
year-
on this last one.
He didn't have to jack up on this. He could have just
No.
dropped it in.
I agree.
I'm never
I mean,
jacking up on this. I'm just dropping in and I'm playing a quarter ball black.
Actually, I'm going to go this back to normal speed for a second.
That was so ballsy
Because
to
it's-
jack up on that
it's
shot. That
not-
was so much harder than what it looked like.
And watch his body as he plays it as well.
He put
When he
his
jacked
soul
up-
into it.
And
yeah,
like
when he jacked up, I thought, wow,
his
this
whole-
is a chance to miss.
His whole body moves.
His heart rate would be through the roof. His knees
Yeah.
would have been trembling. Like it's the biggest shot of his life. You know, like that's it's pretty
Yeah.
brutal. It's so ballsy to jack up on that shot because, in my opinion, that's your biggest threat to not making the out. Like I'm just dropping that in and I'm playing a quarter ball black.
Just drop it in. And well done on to Paddy on.
I think everyone other than Justin and his Calcutta buyer was happy to see that.
All right, let's do a quick check.
I don't know what the score is with Pace and Alex, but there's a lot of people saying, Jack. A lot of people saying Jack can't win that. I think it's very close to even money, that match. I don't know what the score is, though. Probably
there
about
you
to
go.
tell me it's 12-1.
12-6.
So plenty of time, Jack.
So was it off scratch
Come on,
or
Jack.
what the goal is here?
It's off scratch, but with odds, I think.
So my thing
And-
with Jack is he's doing a lot good, but right now he's not doing any one thing real amazing. So like if you take someone like Paddy, Paddy's got some grind. You know, he can grind away and you know and all that sort of stuff. And Dempsey's more dangerous running racks than Jack. You know, you've got sort of different traits. Other people have got sort of like a go-to shot or style. Where Jack's all right at everything, but he's not good enough at anything to sort of lean on it. Running racks, potting, white ball tactics, or anything like that. He's sort of just decent at all of them. So needs to develop his thing that he can lean on. Like if I was playing Alex and I was playing absolutely shocking, I would make all the frames go scrappy and tactical very quickly. But he can't do that because he's not good enough at tactics.
Now, Mick, the final. Is there some key moments in there for you?
I chopped up a few at the start. No, look, the main key moment realistically was right at the end, I guess. I played a big double and had a choice to go game or to play a snooker. And normally in that situation, a lot of champions or a lot of top players will actually go for the win. But I thought, you know what, if I could lay the snooker here, I'm basically instantly win because even if he gets out, I've got balls everywhere. But I played the snooker, but I didn't play it hard enough. I probably rushed a shot, and it's the one thing I regret. Probably should have taken a little bit more care because I was about a mil off, and he was able to cut the ball in and go game. So that was one key moment for me. But look, there might have been a couple little turning points that if I would have got them, the game could have been a bit different. But all in all, Paddy looked like the better guy out there, and he was the man to beat. And I struggled a little bit at the start again with my hand cramping on and off. I don't use that as an excuse, but it definitely played on my mind a lot when I was playing shots. I couldn't be down too long because my hand would literally start to fold up. But at the end of the day, I think Paddy definitely deserved the win. He got the luck when he needed it, and he made the outs when he needed it. Actually, one key shot I remember, he stuffed the out up, I think, and I played my yellow and left him obviously a long pot on the black, but I needed to get my yellow out far enough. So therefore, when he missed the black, or if he missed the black, I could then pot the yellow, because I couldn't just bump my yellow off the rail and then try and snooker him, because even if he hit the black ball, I was in trouble. I needed to get the yellow ball sort of towards the center of the table. Even if I left him on the pot, he still had a very hard pot, because I had a good white, and the 8 ball was in a hard position just past the center pocket. Like, I'd give anyone in the world that shot, and happy to have $100 to go on it, because it's probably a 1 in, I'd say it's a 1 in 7, 1 in 8, and he nailed it. He nailed it straight away, and I thought from that moment on that I was going to be in trouble, because it's things like that define sometimes the match. I'm still going to make mistakes. He's still going to make mistakes, but it's those shots that actually, can actually get you over the line. So good on him.
All right. So this is the third frame. Paddy's off to a flyer. He's won the first 2.
Yeah.
And he's on the reds looking to go game in the third frame. Well, let's just play this out and we'll see what happens. Straight down on it. Ooh, that's an awful feeling when that happens.
It wasn't for me. I loved it. I looked up, I saw it, and I looked straight back down on my hand and couldn't start massaging my hand, going, I'm going to get another crack here. I'm going to get another crack here. I thought it was over.
All right, so tell us again what your plan here is, Mick.
So the plan is to get the yellow ball sort of up close to the blue spot, but obviously not that far. But I needed it high enough so when he hit the black, I had a choice of basically I had a good shot on the yellow. Most people will play the little change over here. They'll put the yellow where the white is and the white where the yellow is. But the problem is when people actually get out of it and hit the 8 ball, they don't have a shot on the yellow. So you need to create distance with the yellow. And even if I sacrifice a snooker, so I sacrifice a snooker there, but I'm okay with that, because I think that's a 1 in 7 shot anyway. And, as soon as he misses that, I'm a good chance to nail that yellow and then obviously get on the 8 ball. But so he couldn't play safe off this because of where the yellow is. If the yellow was down the bottom, then he could play safe if he wanted to. But he broke my heart.
Bang. Knocked it in, yes.
Far out. Man,
Big
that
pot.
went in clean. Not even a rattle or jaw. I'm like, oh God, I'm in trouble.
And he just started pulling out balls like it was a standard shot on a Wednesday
good
night.
on him. Good on him, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do. So good on him.
Now, one thing that I remember in commentary that Jamie was talking about, I don't know, I think it might have been after this frame, is you noticeably speed up for multiple frames. So Jamie starts talking about changing gears, and this is a thing that happens.
Well,
but I'm wondering, was it just your hand that you couldn't spend much time on the table?
2 things. Not very many people know. I've got gout, and I take tablets for it, which make me go to the toilet a lot. So
Right.
I was busting to go to the toilet, like really busting. And as soon as that had finished, I'd race to the toilet, go to do a number 1, and then race back out. But in the meantime, I had to sort of just speed up a little bit. I needed a gear change. I needed to come out. You might have saw me sort of jump up a little bit before I broke. I needed to change something up, just something small. and to try and give it a bit more on the break, try and actually I needed something to happen there because I'm 3-0 down and I just don't want to break the balls normally. I want to take a bit of a risk and smack the pack a little bit harder, maybe risk putting the white off the table, maybe getting a really good break and getting some tap-ins and then maybe running a rack or two, which I think that's what happened. But in those key moments, you need to actually change something up, just something small. And I just try to get on with it and try and put pressure straight back on him because at 3-0 up, he's not really under much pressure. But if I can do something to actually put pressure back on him very, very quickly, and so he doesn't get that comfortable, then I can definitely do that. So, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, so I'm just going to let this frame play out. I'm keeping an eye on the time. I'm going to see how long this frame takes for you to finish.
Well, I already mapped it. So where I put my hand there, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. So I want to finish these 3. And then after I finish these 3, where I put my hand, that's where I want to be to finish the next 3. So I already mapped the hole out in my head. I just needed to make sure that I landed in that spot where I put my hand off one of these balls.
So somewhere near the blue spot is what we're looking for.
No, somewhere, but maybe to the left of it a little bit more.
Bit to the left. Okay.
Yeah. Because I wanted to be sort of straight on that red as much as I can. I didn't come over far enough, but it was still okay. If I was over far enough, I can roll through and play the center red. Or if I landed where I was, I could roll through and play the bottom and then screw back across. So I knew I had 2 options. I just needed to get close enough to that red so I don't miss it. And I'm trying to do all this very quickly as well to try and put the pressure back on him. And I had a big area here. Just had to hit it nice and make sure I get through it and don't be hesitant. I've been hesitant in the past and come up short. And I said to myself this time, give it your all, go full-blooded. And I did. And it landed pretty sweet. Yeah,
you played that very, very well. I remember that, watching that one live.
So these are all things you can do to put pressure back on your opponent. And again, you got to make them. If you don't, well, then you're going 4-0 down. But you have to switch a little bit, and it can rattle your opponent. It doesn't work all the time, but it's all I had that day. I had nothing else. I was mentally drained. I'm out. So I had to try.
So that was about 2 minutes and 10 seconds for that out. So not super fast, but certainly picking up the pace. And I think that theme just kind of sticks around.
Yeah, I just stuck with it because I was either going to lose quickly or make a game of it. So, and that's what I decided to do.
I'm actually going to go right to the end now, to the last frame. Here we go. So it's 5-all. And there's been a bit of a safety exchange, and you've finally got the opportunity. You're at the table.
Yeah,
it's open table.
I thought now's the time to either obviously go reds or yellows. I wasn't on a yellow. I'm like, all right, I can play that red in the bottom left and then go into the red that's near the yellows because that red didn't go. So I needed to open it up. I couldn't play it too hard because it was quite thin. So it would have been nice to play it a tad harder. That way I can get some movement because I could play that red that's on the bottom left there, but I was snookered behind the red that I was closest to. So I sort of stuck on it. So my only option now was to play the top red at the top of the table and cut it. And that was a really thin cut. And I'm like, if I miss this, it's game over. So the other red, I could probably double it and screw back to the bottom end of the table and then reevaluate my options from there. And I said to myself before I got on the shot, it's 5-all. And I said this to myself out loud. I said, no guts, no glory. Let's do this. Let's knock this in. Let's screw back and let's go from there. I'd rather do that because even if I missed, he still actually had to knock in some long balls to actually win, not just have tap-ins. Because if I played the other one, I don't know where the white's going, but I knew where the white was going here. So
actually a little bit unlucky not to nudge one of those reds just to kind of clear them both off.
Yeah, I'm aiming for that area. And even here, I could have played that red in the center. So I look at it and I'm like, you know what? I was going to play it. And I got up and like, have another quick look. And I saw the option here to actually play a nice snooker and put him in big trouble here. Because even if he gets out of it, I'm on a red, And I just didn't play it hard enough. I should have played it harder. And, and got I only needed another mil. I was only a mil out. And I knew I left him on, and he's going to go for it. And he, with a bit of luck, he can make this out, and he did.
Yeah, so no hesitation from Paddy too. So, respect to him for that. Like he's seized the moment.
And that's what you got to do. See the moment, just take it, go for it. Don't stop.
Just let this play out a little bit faster. It's a bit awkward here, but kudos to him for given the moment, that was a tricky yellow down the rail, but yeah, well done.
Yeah, he couldn't have a nicer black though to win a major.
There you have it. Yeah. Congratulations to you, Paddy. Obviously, we wanted to see Mick win, but given that he didn't, you're a worthy winner, and great to see you as one of the nice blokes of Poole getting a major tournament. Bit emotional there, Paddy. Yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah, I think everyone was going for Paddy there. See, Mick's my best mate, and I want to see him win it and all that. But if there was someone who wasn't going to win, certainly Paddy was right up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I even said in the speech, and I don't know whether this come out wrong or not, but I meant it like the bottom of my heart. I think I wanted him to win more than what I did because of just who he is and all the background stuff that goes along with it, but I still wanted to win. But if I was going to lose to anyone, then I'm just as happy losing to him, So
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was it was good. It was a good moment.
Now, Mark, what about your tournament? What was your takeaways from the event?
Well, I hadn't put in any prep for it. I just sort of wanted to go in with the attitude of just a mini bit of a free roll, really. I think I sort of set some goals at the start of the year to have a really big year. But typical me style, I think those goals have changed, and I think I'm choosing to focus on some other things, which I'm very happy about and excited about. I'll share later on down the track. But I was just happy driving down there and just playing, and then probably the least expectations I've ever had on myself in one of these tournaments. I always know if I play well, I'm a chance, or a bit of a luck or whatever, I'm a chance. But I was really like, no, I don't actually really fancy myself, and I'll give it a go. So I got down there, to make sure I had a little bit of a hit. I had a hit with Joseph Evans. I think I played about 30 shots. I missed 20 of them. I think he pumped me like 10-0 or something. Yeah, we weren't keeping count. We're just mucking around, but still, I was horrible. I'm like, okay. But I was telling, and Joey was laughing at me, and Gussie's laughing at me, and I'm like, no, I'm doing the rusty. I'm going to start off real bad, and I'll just work my way into the tournament. It's only up from here. And the funny thing was, my first match, my opponent was looking very determined to beat me, which was annoying, and and I think I've mucked up a shot somewhere, but it wasn't too bad. And then he's mucked up, and we're on sort of like the show table, and I just wanted to play like off the back, up the side. Give me one of the shit tables up the back or something. I didn't want to play on any show tables. I was happy to play out there the whole tournament, and then if I happen to be there at the end, I'll come down. I'll emerge. But no. Anyway, I actually play a good safety, and I completely stuff him in the first frame, and he does like a bit of a whack shot, and he gets the luckiest. The way they all landed was unreal, and I'm like, ooh, I've got to actually knock in this really nasty long ball. And right as I've convinced myself the courage to play it, I hear someone in the crowd go, "Oh, he's gotten a bit lucky there," and like the way the balls landed, I'm like, "Oh God, everyone's watching." I'm like, oh. All that went through my head. And then I actually, what Mick said was sort of like that no guts, no glory kind of thing, because I could have either attacked or defended. And I had this nasty long shot where I had to jack up and play like a long pot stun. And it was awful. If I missed, I lost, and it was awful. And I played it beautiful. I wasn't expecting to. I've absolutely crunched it in. And then I've knocked in my next ball and for the black. And then instantly I felt fantastic. Fantastic. I couldn't believe how I changed inside. And then I proceeded to play 2 good frames and 2 good outs. I was like, oh, I'm back. And here we go. I'm back. It's just that easy. And from one shot, really, tremendous confidence booster. And then all of a sudden, I actually had a little bit of hope. And then I drew Jamie. We've had some good matches. And I broke. The white got flicked in off. He ran the rack. They were all there, and he just made them nice and easy. He never gave me any hope. And then he broke, good break, unlucky and off. And I ran the rack. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I had a chance to win the third, and the speed of the table caught me out. I didn't make the out, and then he played about 5 good snookers in a row. I just couldn't win. So he goes 2-1 up. And then I get a chance in the fourth. I make a nice little 3-ball out to go 2-all. I'm feeling really good. I make a nice little blind pocket cut on a black. Feeling really good now. Anyway, I'm feeling really good. And then I dry break, and he pots out. So I mentally prepared myself just to lose, and I was going to go home, and that's fine, and get home in time to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. But I started playing well, and I actually had hope. And unfortunately, Jamie played really well. Didn't really give me much of a look in, except for maybe one chance halfway through. But other than that, Jamie's played well, and I think he said, "I'm sorry" or something when he shook my hand. I don't know what he was sorry about. It was a good match. I was perfectly fine losing it. Jamie's one of my very best friends, and I was happy for him. I wasn't actually fussed. I'm normally pretty, like I can't breathe after I lose, but I was fine actually. And I think he said, "I'm sorry" or something, but he didn't fluke anything. He played great. And my natural reaction was, I just said, "I'll just go on with it then." And he did. He won a bunch more matches and lost to Sage 4-2 in the quarters. And I watched a couple of his other matches on stream, and he looked like he was playing good. Yeah, probably the most absolutely fine I've ever been. Losing, I messaged Shane, the guy who brought me in the Calcutta, saying, I don't know if you saw,
Sorry.
I actually played all right. Jamie just played well and beat me. So sorry about that.
Can I ask, Mark, you were very frank last week when we spoke about the Vic doubles, about some issues you were having that affected you playing. Like you talked about asking Gus to play some shots, for example, because you weren't feeling it on that day.
I'll never do that again.
I just want to ask him, not ask him about Gus. I just want to ask about you. Like, how are you going? We're still feeling some issues at the Geelong event?
Yeah, there's just been my good friends around me and stuff. You guys know, but yeah, I've just some mental and physical things haven't been quite right for me for a while now, probably about 5 or 6 years, and I've noticed something's not quite right. And I've got some news back and everything. Nothing's bad, everything's fine, but there are some things that are off. So I've started making the mental and physical changes to fix those things up. I plan on in a couple of months actually sort of doing it. I might do a bit of a Facebook Live, or I might just update on here or something like that, how it's all going, because I'm going to have more answers then. I said, nothing's bad. There's no cancer or anything like that, but I just have noticed that there's been something off that comes out in my consistency, just sort of in life. And I've noticed my competitive nature when it comes to pool and like competing hasn't been right. I noticed a lot during the Pockets Pro series. The first series, I was probably playing the best ever of my life. And I did very well. I won 4 out of the 12 tournaments and finished overall winner. So that all went very well, but I was very happy that was finished. People couldn't tell. Mick and probably only 1 or 2 other people would have known I was actually struggling bad, and I had no idea why. I just wanted every match to be over. I just couldn't stand it. And I was playing well and I was winning, but needed it to be over. And then when they announced the second year, I was almost like, oh God, I've got to go through it again. But then it was up in Mildura, actually. I was playing Tom O'Keefe, and I'm 3-1 up, but not playing well. And I'm desperately wanting the match to be over. Really want the match to be over. And I'm 3-1 up. And I just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I've never had it like that. And then in the doubles, which was only on like a week later, Gus and I were going through the round robin and we're progressing through the tournament fine. And like I said, with the Tom O'Keefe match, the match before I played Phil Riley, who's I've played once before in a national semi-final. It went 10-9 and it was in SA. It was epic. So I've got all the respect in the world for him. And I played like perfect. So I've beaten him on the same table. So there was no excuses. I had nothing. And something happened. It was weird. And then it happened again in the doubles. Gus and I played in the quarters against Bowen and Scotty Parker. I felt great. We played good. And then something happened in the semis. Like I covered in the podcast last time, we ran the opening rack and you hear me actually saying to Gus, something's wrong. So we ran the rack and we made a good out. And I said something was wrong, like something's way off here. And then I couldn't get it back from the semis and the final. So I'm like, okay, something's going on here. Something's going on. And there are a couple of things that are off. Like I said, I'll update later on once I know a bit more and everything, and I've got some more answers and stuff. I said nothing bad, but it's now that I'm aware of it, it might be all right. But something I said to the guys before Geelong started, I said, you're actually going to see me play a lot faster and just a lot more simple, because I think how I am right now, playing slow and overcomplicating the game is what's triggering actually this bad effect right now. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the honesty, and I know people will be wondering, so I just wanted to kind of give you the chance to give a little update. And I'm glad that things are in hand, and you'll be fine in the long run. So we look forward to you getting back to 100% on and off the pool table as well. And yeah, like you mentioned Jamie Stevens. Well done, Jamie. Jamie's made the quarterfinals. He's following you. He beat Justin Allen, then Jack Green, and came up against Justin Sage and lost 4-2. But good event, good tournament for you too, Jamie. Well done.
What's the score with Greenie?
Pardon me?
What's the score with
The
Greenie?
score with Greenie, yeah. So I was going to talk about some customers. It's just happening live. People,
Was it 12-6 last time? I'm tipping maybe 18-10.
They've had a break. I think there was a pause at some scheduled point, so they've just kind of resumed play recently. So 14-7.
So he needs to get to 12. He needs to get to 12 or 13 before Alex gets to 17 or 18 to have a chance.
Yeah, puts the pressure on you.
Yeah. So he needs to win, I think, 7 out of the next 11 frames to have a chance.
Yeah, so Alex has actually played. There's been a few cash matches going on because we wanted to mention one of them. Alex is doing this round the country trip. He's come to Victoria and he played Tom O'Keefe just before Geelong and beat Tom O'Keefe 21-16. Then he played Jack Phillips, which he won 18-16, much closer match. Then Joseph Evans, and off scratch, Joseph Evans won that match 21-18. Well done, Joseph.
It's a 3-star.
Joseph got a 3-star, yeah.
Was it a 3-star? Oh, that's right. He did get a 3-star. So I guess it would have been an 18 all, I guess. They've both won 18 frames to get to that point. But well done on the match. And then right now, obviously playing Jack Green. Mark, I know you wanted to mention Tom just as an example of Tom O'Keefe, that is, of someone who's trying to take some steps to improve his game.
Yeah, with anyone that has made a stateside or wants to level up their game, doing stuff like playing these money matches and stuff and putting yourself out there, win or lose, that's how you get better, and that's how you actually move forward in the game. Sticking back and doing your own thing, you're not going to progress. You're not going to learn anything new. So what Tom is doing and others are doing that have now had some success, they're now actually going on with it. And that's what you need to do to become a top line player. And, he's getting better. They're all getting better. which is really good.
Yep. Yes, I agree. It's been a good kind of season for some cash matches and knockout comps and big events that like the year seems filled with all of those things.
Yeah.
But he's
So
doing the
as
right
season-
things.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
doing the right. He's like, I know, like, it's funny enough, he actually just sent me a message like an hour ago, but I know that he's contacted Mick, and some other players that I know, just wanting hits, wanting sets, wanting to play. He's playing Dempsey, these other guys. I don't want to name names for whatever reason, but he's just actively searching for advice, experience, money matches. He's playing, he's played Alex Pace, putting money on the line, his time on the line. He's doing
He's gone up a
the
level.
right things. He has gone up a level. And it's these guys that, just like Paddy Hood. Paddy Hood's been doing the right things for a long time. Probably could have won a tournament a bit earlier. He's been knocking on the door for a long time. But eventually one's going to open, and you're just going to get up that level just that little bit better here and there. And, so Tom O'Keefe could be on his journey, a few years from now, winning a major tournament. That's totally up to him. But yeah, I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out because I know we spend a lot of time here sort of the new gen, old gen sort of stuff and making fun of them. That's just a lot of banter, really. So it's just good to sort of point out maybe what some of these other guys should be doing as well.
Yeah, I think behind the banter is a desire to see the next generation really level up.
We
Like
want them to do well.
That is what we want to see. So
Correct.
yeah, good on you, Tom. Getting out there and doing
We want
your
them.
thing.
We want your Dempseys and Jack Greens and all these guys to do well, but we want you to earn it. Earn it by earn it like all the Mick Delahunties, Jack Halligans, John Bartons, all these guys, Sonny Lister and all them guys like me and Mick, Benny Noonan and Jake and all these guys learnt from them and then added a bit more. So we want to see the next gen take that and then add a bit more on top of it.
Add a bit more.
Yeah.
Yep. Indeed.
I'd like to see where they can take the game. I would like to think that, a 21-year-old Ben Noonan, James Delahunty, is not the best, 8 ball we're ever going to see. I'd like to think that there's some more coming.
Well, I'm pretty clear. I think if the 8 Ball FM team can play a small part in Victorians winning national titles and in Australians winning world titles, I will be deliriously happy. Like I would love to see that happen in the future for, to have Australians knock on the door at world singles and world teams championships and women's championships, the whole gamut. Like that is what we want for the future of Q Sports in our country. And I don't just mean 8 Ball, I mean in all brands of Q Sports. It could be 8 Ball, could be black ball, could be hay ball, could be snooker. Like I just want to see more of that coming out of Australia. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
So
we've got a good player base and we've got good experience. We've got strong competitors and everything. We've got guys like Justin Sage and Jake McCartney, leading the way. The success can be had.
Toby Clack
Absolutely.
was, I think, in the last 16 too. Like he's starting to now progress through the rounds, and you're starting to see him bob up. And he's got such a great game. Obviously, learning from his dad, and now he probably teaches his dad stuff too now. So, yeah, it's good to see Toby out there.
Toby made the last 8.
Yeah,
Last
I
8,
said
sorry.
Dempsey now.
Yeah.
Toby, I think Dempsey was the last 16 and Toby was in the 8. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
Toby.
but Jake knocked them both out.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's I think that's it from me, gents.
That's it. Thank you.